Hello, welcome to another Daily Digest video. I'm Ross Merriam. Today I'm switching it up with a little bit of standard, playing a couple cards that I liked when they were printed and am happy to seeing a little bit of play. And they're both in my opening hand. How great is that? They are SRAM's Expertise and Growing Rights of Itlamok. SRAM's Expertise is a card I tried a lot when it was first previewed and just didn't really work out, but these kinds of cards are quite good in standard right now. Creating a bunch of bodies is very good against mono red because it's just good against blocking down their stuff as a defensive measure and as an offensive measure against a deck like Blue Black Control, the next most popular deck. I mean, they're just relying on spot removal. They have a couple, usually like one or two copies of Golden Demise in the sideboard, and that's about it. So it can be tough for them to just deal with a card that makes multiple bodies, and SRAM's Expertise definitely does that. And here with Growing Rights, it actually combos really nicely. Hopefully we get to do that. We need one other creature. So if we can play a creature on the first 3 turns and then turn 4 Expertise into Growing Rights, assuming things stay on the battlefield, this will trigger an end step, and we'll have a bunch of mana. Maybe we can play an Ajani the next turn. So definitely going to keep this hand. I'm going to play the Scattered Groves on turn 1, and then cycle Cast Out on turn 2. Maybe I'm supposed to cycle Cast Out on turn 1 and hope to draw a 2-drop and then play the Scattered Groves on 3. Because I am not sure. I'm trying to find the... There we go. Most of the 2-drops are green. In fact, all of them other than Ballista are. Okay. So that cycle plan does not seem great. So let's play the Scattered Groves. Okay. We are off now. I have figured out the correct line. Hopefully our opponent is playing a control deck, I guess, because we have the Expertise. They're mono red, so we're going to be under a little bit of pressure here. Also makes me want to hold on to the Cast Out because it's our answer to Hazaret. I guess Ajani also answers Hazaret. That is something to keep in mind. But that will probably require us to find a creature before turn 4 and a 4th land. So we're going to need to flip the Growing Rights to cast the Ajani. Since I don't have 1-drops, if I don't draw a 2-drop here, I can pass and see what they do before deciding on the Cast Out cycle. I mean, I may just end up casting the Growing Rights on turn 3, because if I have a 4th land, I can SRAMs into whatever I find. That is a perfectly fine line. So there's not really a need to cycle the Cast Out, I guess, because I have Growing Rights. I guess if I want a land, if I draw some other expensive card here, another Expertise, another Ajani, another Cast Out, another Growing Rights, that might be the time to cycle Cast Out, because I'd like to find land 4. I do have a couple other draws to find that land, though. And if things don't come together for me to cast the Ajani, and I've gotten rid of my Cast Out and they have Hazaret, I'm in a lot of trouble. But that is a lot of ifs. You don't want to be overly cautious. And there is another Expertise. Yeah, as I said, we get to wait a turn to make this decision. But that is one of the cards that pushes us towards cycling Cast Out, I think the most, just because it really wants us to hit lane 4. There's a Kenra. Opponent skips through their attack step. Not the best. I'm going to cycle this. I guess if I'm going to cycle that, I'm going to cycle this one too. Getting helped out here. Should be at 18. There's land 4, so as long as there is a creature. So I can play the Branch Walker, and that might be good if they have 3/2 on-crop crasher. They'll be forced into exerting it, which is good for me. But if they have another 2-drop into shock or just lightning strike attack, that could be a disaster. If they just have lightning strike attack, I'm pretty happy about that though. It would be a second 2-drop shock that would be bad. If they had second 2-drop, if they had 1/3 Karizev, they would have cast that on turn 2 for sure. So they would have to have second Kenra and shock. Because I don't really want them to know about the growing rights. That's kind of the thing. Is there another creature I would rather cast off of the expertise next turn instead of Branch Walker? I don't really think so. Like a Rishkar or Jade Light Ranger to be a card that I find off of the growing rights that would make me more mana efficient. Yeah, Jade Light Ranger is the big one. If I growing rights this turn, hit Ranger, and then expertise into Ranger instead of Branch Walker, the 4/3 is a much better blocker if it's a 4/3. Okay, I think given both of those factors, I'm just going to growing rights this turn. If my opponent slows themselves down to stop this from flipping, that's also just good for me. But I do get punished by On-Crop Crasher a bit. Not a ton. Yeah, I'm honestly not that upset if they On-Crop Crash me this turn. And there is Jade Light Ranger. And top of my deck was really good. Okay. Let's just hope they tap out for some nonsense. They do indeed have Crasher, so a little bit punished, but you know, next turn they'll exert this. I'll trade a token for the Kenra, and everything will be fine. I'm just they're getting in 3 extra damage because of it, but I guess eventually it gets exerted anyway. So gonna flip this growing rights. I'm excited. Ooh, Wild Growth Walker. Now I just want to play the Walker off of Expertise and then play Expertise into Branch Walker next turn, or into Jade Light Ranger next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Walker. I mean, if they kill it, I guess I might be better off doing the Branch Walker, because then there's nothing I really want them to kill, and I can cast both Wild Growth Walker and Jade Light Ranger next turn and get 6 life out of it. So this is sort of the safer play. Yeah, let's just cast Branch Walker. And they sort of view it as me not wanting to trade Jade Light Ranger for the Crasher, but still sort of forcing them to exert. Like maybe they don't exert if I do it the other way. I don't know. Yeah, I think we should keep that one, given how many creatures we're about to make. Oh yeah. Ooh, baby. I am ready. Ooh. Well, that definitely punishes me. Jeez. Okay. I'm still going to trade for the Kenra. I'll take 8, go to 7, but this is where me saving the life gain is really important. So then I'll go Wild Growth Walker, make 3 green, play Expertise into Ranger. I guess the sequencing doesn't much matter, but I'm in pretty good shape here. I'm just gonna doesn't matter. I guess if I go no, I can't go if I go expertise into Walker, then I have 6 mana. I can play Jade Light Ranger and Ballista on 1. I don't think getting the Ballista on 1 down there is what I want to do. So yeah, let's just do it this way. This way makes less mana, but I'm going to have 1 mana left over if I do it optimally. I don't really feel like having Moto talk to me about that. Cast this one. Oh yes, we are doing it. Going off. Gaea's Cradle is a good Magic card. I don't know if any of you know that. Drew 2 lands, that's fine. So now I have 3/5. They'll have to exert to stop from blocking, and then I can trade Jade Light Ranger for the Crasher. Still have 6 creatures. Play a Gigantic Ballista, maybe an Ajani. Who knows? I guess I can play one of these lands too. 13 life. They missed their 4th land drop. Probably have a Hazoret that's never going to do anything in their hand. Good thing I cycle these stupid cast outs. I'm great. My deck's great. Magic is great. Everything's great. My opponent's thinking about conceding here. They probably should. Look how far ahead I am. I have 7 creatures. They only have 1. I have Tron amounts of mana. They have very few. So I have 7 creatures, so I have 12 mana right now. Is that a lot? I have 13 mana next turn. I can play a Ballista on 6. They might just be dead. No, I only have 10 power. I guess I have 17 power with the Shefet Dunes. If I trade the Jade Light Ranger, then next turn I make 6 mana, play a Ballista on 3. Yeah, I should probably just trade. Maybe I'm just supposed to take 3 there. I don't know. Sure thing. I'll sack this. They'll block a servo. I'll just play the Ballista on 3, kill the Karizev, have a Ballista on 2 still. Play another Shefet Dunes. Oh, yeah. Just doing everything. Doing it all. Cast so many spells, made so many creatures. Just everything I want to do my entire life. 6 mana. Cast this. All my manas. They know this is here. I flipped this Itlimoc on turn 4 and still haven't cast a Johnny. Just unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Even if they sweep my board, I just untap and play a Johnny. Uncrop Crasher. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Sure, get me to 10. Okay. What do I have in the side, Brad? These Death Gorge Scavengers, I'm sure, are quite good. How good is that card? I haven't played a lot of Standard. I see this card in a fair amount of people's sideboards. And I honestly don't really know what it does. So they have, I guess it just fights one of the early creatures, which is fine, and blocks everything else. I'm sure it's got to be meant for this matchup. Given how much trading I'm going to do, I don't think Growing Rights is great, especially in multiples. I don't think Rishkar is very good. This card is very good with Wild Growth Walker, but other than that, I don't need that many triggers of this card for it to be good. So I think we can trim on that. Maybe I trim a Cast Out. I don't know. I have a Johnny to deal with Hazoret as well. That many Cast Out seems like a lot. This is still 5 ways to deal with a Hazoret, and I'm very good at blocking it. I don't need as many ways to deal with the things like Earthshaker Kenra because of Scavenger. Still leaves a fair amount of aggression left. Yeah. There is my sideboarding plan. Trim a bunch of nonsense, bring in better things, mulligan this hand. And if I draw land every turn of the game, this hand's very good, but you know, that's just not the kind of hand you keep on 7, especially against an aggressive deck when you're on the draw. This hand is not much better, but it is potentially functional. And I'm hoping I draw a green-white cycling land, because that'll let me play Archer on 2, and then a 4th land will expertise into Jadelight Ranger. But I think this is better than 5. Honestly, I don't think this is good. I think I need to really hit green source early. And there's a chance that that does something, but Desert of the Fervent, man. We are getting inventive with our deserts in the red decks now. Very inventive. Death Gorge Scavenger, not great. Oh, we have something that Archer can help handle. Ooh, and there's a forest. Perfect. I'm going to have to take some beats here. Hopefully I don't fall too far behind. If I can find another white source for turn 4, I drew the one colorless land here, this Arch of Varaska, which is awkward. Yeah, this is a crasher. That's no bueno. But I do get to at least Archer into Scavenger and gain some life back. Ooh, and there's the white source. I like it. I like it a whole lot. Yes, I would like to use this ability. Certainly not out of the woods, but doing a pretty good job here on a week 6 on the draw. Against a reasonable start from our opponent, too. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we don't lose any permanents, we're gonna. Ooh, wow, they're gonna. They're just using this so they don't have to exert. I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. Gonna have to take a point here, unfortunately. But we'll gain 2 back. I assume that means I have a shock here for this Scavenger, but that's fine. Get this Kenra out of here. They are stuck on 3 lands again. Don't feel like attacking for one, rather play defensive here. I don't have another green for this Jade Light Ranger. Maybe I was supposed to cast Jade Light Ranger because I could Scavenger next turn. Yeah, that was probably a mistake, actually. I was not thinking about that. Yeah, that was a mistake. They have a Blazing Volley in their sideboard. That is really good because now they get to exert on the Scavenger, and I can't really block with the Archer. Jeez. Oh, wow. I can trade here and go to 5. I mean, I think I have to, right? Yeah. Yeah, I really should have played Jade Light Ranger. That would have been much better. I'm in big trouble now because of that. That was okay. Well, at least we hit out of it. And this is actually really important against Hazaret. Oh yeah, definitely want to keep this on top. Make a 4/3. And once again, I'll leave back the Archer in case they have another Crasher. I played the Sunbill Growth. There we go. We're close to turning the corner here, but we might just be dead to burn. And they kept in a Braid, Invigorated Volley, Blazing Volley. How much burn can they have? I guess enough to kill us. Looks like they have multiple Lightning Strikes. But I do have that covered, at least, with this Scavenger. So the fact that they tapped out for this Lightning Strike means I'm definitely playing Scavenger here. I will exile an Uncrop Crasher from their graveyard. Get up to 4. Now I'll attack with Jade Light Ranger. And I guess I can gain life with a Johnny too. So that's something to keep in mind if they just tap out for another Lightning Strike here. They're cycling a Desert. Yeah, I think they're looking for more burn. How do I want to play this? I think I want to end the game pretty quickly. I do have 8 power here, which is something to take note of. I could just try attacking twice for 8. Doing that does leave me open to Bomet Courier plus Lightning Strike or Bomet Courier plus Invigorated Rampage, which would be an awkward way to die. I guess, actually, no, because I'm going to 6 here. So I don't die to any of that nonsense. I guess I could. Yeah. Okay. So I think I figured it out. I'm going to attack for 8. Exile my Deathguard Scavenger, go to 6. I'm going to play a Johnny, exile my Archer, go to 7, so that I don't die to double Lightning Strike or Earthshaker Kenra plus Invigorated Rampage. And if they only play one blocker, a Johnny can move that out of the way. Oh, but then they'll gain life. Because I do have Sheffet Dunes too, so my next attack can be for 10. So as long as they need to play a 3 toughness blocker to survive, which seems tough. I don't think they really have 3 toughness blockers now that Ferocidon is no longer there. So I think they would have to play multiple creatures to get through that. It's a weird play, but I think it's the right one. Because I'm sure they have another lightning strike in their hand. I guess they can lightning strike one of my creatures, but then I still have the Ajani. But if they have like Kenra plus lightning strike, deal with the Ajani, kill one of your things, then I'm in an awkward spot. This is tough. I really just don't want to die to 2 lightning strikes. Or like Kenra Rampage. I'm going to take my line just to see how it works. It's like really conservative against burn. They do still have 4 cards in hand, so I'm throwing away some value here. The thing is, if we spend the next couple turns trading, I might just have time to use Arch of Araska and get back some of those lost cards here. And so they have 4th land, Kenra. Yeah, and now they lightning strike now they have lightning strike to deal with one of my creatures to not die. Oh, looks like I'm getting pretty punished. Oh no, they left it back. Well then, I don't really want to exile this Kenra. I think they're going to try to trade resources. I'm just going to plus. I could get a cast out here to deal with the Kenra that way and force a lightning strike on one of my creatures. That one's pretty good. That might force a lightning strike on their side. So now I get to exile. This is a just non-creature, not instant or sorcery. Guess I'll get rid of their lightning strike. So this will force either an attack or a removal spell, or a block or a removal spell, because it's exactly lethal. I assume a block. I'm not worried about the Kenner yet because I only have 4 lands. And then I think they're going to be forced to lightning strike this Wild Growth Walker. Are they striking both? Oh, they're using Invigorated Rampage to trade. See, went to 7, played around this combo in a very strange way, and now the game's basically over. They're down to 2 cards. This trade happens, and I get to play this one. Gain 6. Have a 3/5. Is another Ajani good? I don't think so. Graveyard. And then a land. Okay, they're at 4, so I now have 3 lethal creatures if you count the Sheffet Dunes. Now I'm at 13 with an Ajani in play and the City's Blessing. Don't forget that. Yeah, that's it. So, opponent missed their 4th land drop both games, which is pretty killer for them. Being on the play and having us not have a 2-drop or have as explosive of a start, and had to build the Blazing Volley for the Strengths expertise, which was pretty techy, was quite good and made game 2 a little bit more complicated. But I have to imagine they had Hazoret in their hand in both games and just were never able to deploy it, which is great. Had it covered if it didn't come down immediately. So, not too worried about it, but is you see the power of just generally a green-white mid-range creature deck against a red aggro deck. And that matchup has happened for years. It's generally good for the green-white mid-range creature deck. And even our deck that has a bit more synergies that can get broken up by a fast clock. Stram's expertise is still really good, unless they have Blazing Volley. All the other creatures are good. Wildgrowth Walker is great. That was nice. Gained 6 life both games. That was the card that sort of put the nail in the coffin both times. And I guess when they cast Lightning Strike on us, did they just have the Invigorated Rampage and Kenra? Was that sort of their plan? I'm surprised that they main phase the Lightning Strike there, because it would definitely let me know that they were close to killing me, and I played really conservatively to get my life total up, and was prepared to sacrifice some value in order to do so. You thought they left them 1 point short, so hope you enjoyed watching a little bit of Standard, and you can come back and see me on Friday. Bye.